Welcome to Korean Cinema Channel. Today I would like to send you the following news. Breaking scoop. Has Wang Haozhen truly fallen for Guo Yuxin? The short drama world has never lacked on-screen couples, but only a rare few manage to make audiences step outside the script and whisper, "This doesn't feel like acting anymore." Recently, a behind-the-scenes clip released by Wang Haozhen's assistant has detonated social media, pushing his second collaboration with Guo Yuxin in media straight into the center of heated discussion. What viewers saw wasn't a carefully edited romantic scene, but something far more disarming, a quiet, unmistakable tenderness hidden in everyday details. And sometimes, those details speak louder than any line of dialogue. Anyone familiar with Wang Haozhen knows his reputation well. He is famously introverted, often labeled an industry social minimalist. On set or at events, he maintains polite boundaries, keeps conversations short, and rarely initiates interaction. Long stretches of silence are normal for him, and emotional distance is almost a signature trait. Yet, in front of Guo Yuxin, that carefully maintained wall seems to crumble. Again and again at the media launch ceremony, the two were spotted standing amid a noisy crowd, heads slightly inclined toward each other, whispering as if the world around them had faded out. This wasn't the stiff politeness of newly acquainted co-stars. It looked natural, familiar, almost like two people who had known each other for years. Cameras captured fleeting smiles, synchronized movements, and an ease that felt unforced, something fans quickly noted as dangerously intimate for a pair who had just entered a new production phase. Then came a small moment during a break that truly set tongues wagging. Guo Yuxin, distracted, sat down on a beach chair that happened to be Wang Haozhen's. Instead of pointing it out or reclaiming his seat, he quietly chose a hard equipment box beside her. Throughout the entire rest period, one of his hands rested lightly on the back of her chair. The ground was uneven, and the chair wobbled slightly in the sand. He stayed like that the whole time, not talking, not drawing attention, just steadying the chair so she wouldn't fall. No director called action, no camera zoomed in. Yet this unnoticed gesture became the most replayed clip of the day. Fans called it instinctive protection, the kind that happens before the brain has time to calculate image, rumors, or consequences during script readings. The contrast became even sharper. When Wang Haozhen sits beside other actors, his posture is precise, even reserved, legs angled away, shoulders squared, distance clearly defined. With Guo Yuxin, however, those rules seem to vanish. Sitting side by side, their legs naturally brushed, knees aligned without any visible effort to avoid contact. There was no awkward correction, no sudden shift. Just comfort. That word appeared repeatedly in fan discussions, comfort. A closeness that doesn't need explanation. But the moment that truly pushed speculation into overdrive came on the final wrap day. During the customary close contact photo session, Wang Haozhen, an actor who has filmed countless intimate scenes, suddenly looked like a nervous rookie. His body stiffened. A faint blush crept across his cheeks and down his neck. His eyes darted away, unable to meet Guo Yuxin's gaze for more than a second. This wasn't scripted shyness. It was visceral, almost physiological, the kind of reaction acting simply cannot fake. Fans were quick to point out the irony. A man capable of delivering devastatingly emotional love scenes on camera, yet visibly flustered by a simple, off-screen closeness. If acting is about control, then this moment was about losing it. So, has Wang Haozhen truly crossed the line from professional affection into real emotion? No official statement has been made, and perhaps none ever will be. But emotions have a way of leaking through cracks, through body language, through silence, through the way someone instinctively chooses discomfort for themselves to ensure another's safety. In the short drama industry, chemistry is often manufactured. But when care becomes unconscious, when boundaries dissolve without intention, and when shyness appears where confidence should reign, audiences can't help but believe, this time, the feelings might just be real. This kind of special treatment was never a momentary impulse. In fact, the seeds of their unspoken chemistry were planted as early as their first collaboration in bringing the national husband home. That now iconic scene where they fed medicine mouth to mouth became an instant talking point, not because of how bold it was, but because of the emotion in their eyes. The tenderness felt too real, too immersive, leaving viewers genuinely unsure where acting ended and reality began. In the fast-paced world of short dramas, where production schedules are tight and emotions don't have time to be endlessly rehearsed, instinct often reveals more truth than carefully constructed performance. An instinct, in that moment, spoke volumes. What truly adds weight to the speculation, however, are the observations from the crew themselves. Staff members quietly noted that their interactions were unusually natural, so fluid that they defied choreography. No exaggerated gestures, no deliberate sweetness, just an effortless rhythm between two people who seemed to understand each other without speaking. That kind of tacit connection, insiders insist, is nearly impossible to fake. Cameras can capture intimacy, but they cannot manufacture ease. Romance in the entertainment industry has always been a blurred line between illusion and truth. Yet Wang Haozhen's transformation is something even the most skeptical observers find hard to dismiss. He was once the textbook lone wolf, content to keep to himself, avoiding unnecessary closeness and emotional exposure. Now, subtle but undeniable changes have emerged, a man who instinctively moves closer, who shields rather than retreats, who no longer hides behind emotional distance. Piece by piece, these details assemble into a possibility too compelling to ignore, and at the center of that change stands Guo Yuxin, the rare exception who seems to have gently dismantled his defenses. Whether it's the seamless continuity of their on-screen rapport or the quiet favoritism that slips through off-camera moments, this growing affection has unfolded in full view, yet without declaration. It doesn't demand attention, but it draws it all the same, tugging softly at the audience's heart. Perhaps netizens are right when they say the best kind of love is the one that makes introverted people braver, and restrained souls reveal their cracks. As for whether this spark will blossom into something lasting, time will tell. But the silent acts of protection, the flushed cheeks caught off guard, and the closeness that comes without effort have already become this winter's sweetest, most comforting story in the entertainment world. Thank you for watching my channel. See you in the next videos. Thanks.